going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Another week of System Capping with your host, Matt Mado. It is week 8. Season's flying by, just like I mentioned last week. And my Baltimore Ravens are on a bye this week. Big win in Seattle. Big game next week, so bye couldn't come at a better time versus New England next week at home. So should be a good one there. Coming off the first video plays as a loser, 1 and 2 last week. We all seen that the the LA Chargers. It was a debacle. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. This is probably the worst. There's two things that were very disappointing about that. One, Gordon, who doesn't look like himself at all. Doesn't look like he's engaged with his runs. Fumbling a few times in the game. Why would you run this guy back-to-back plays? I don't get it. Run Eckler, do a screen, do something. Don't just run him up the middle 2 times. You see it didn't work before. You're going to keep trying to do it. Tennessee does have a good front, so that pissed me off. The coaching staff, I don't know what they were calling. It was just all around mess, and that's the Chargers season, right? It's been a mess. So tough loss there. Probably one of my worst losses in a few maybe years, to be honest. I can't remember 2 overturned calls and a fumble on the 1-yard line with a minute left. It's pretty bad, guys. Bears pick, not a good pick at all. They didn't show up at all at home. That offense is horrendous. You run the ball, I think it was 7 times, and you're gonna let Trubisky throw the ball. This isn't a top-notch quarterback. You're putting Trubisky in a horrible situation, and that's why they lost the game. They didn't run the ball at all, and they put the game in Mitchell Trubisky's hands. It's not gonna work, right? So horrible game by the Bears there, and the Saints do look like they are for real, breeze or no breeze. And then I hit the under there on the Washington San Francisco. It was 9-0. Pretty easy hit there. It was like under 41. I also jumped in live on that game on this minus 35, so good profit there. I'm going to go over some live betting towards the end of this video. Give you some tips on live betting. Hopefully you guys do live betting. Could be very profitable. Start with the video plays of my record here. 15 and 6 on the lines for the season, and 20 and 10 all plays. So all plays is props, alternate line parlays, and of course the lines. So doing good here. Hopefully continue and get some winners for this week. Let's start with week 8 plays. We're going to start with Denver and Indy. In Indy, I'm going to go 43.5 under here. Few reasons why. We all know Denver's defense is solid, especially on their back end there. I do think Hilton's going to be shut down by Chris Harris in this game. He already has been talking shit about it. Saying, I can't wait to guard Hilton. Please don't trade me until I can face off to Hilton. So that's going to be a fun one if you guys end up watching that game. I was leaning Indy minus 5.5. I do like it, but I'm not going to make it a play here. I don't have enough confidence in it, so we're just going to go on the 43 here. And we also know Indy's D. It's okay. Their run D is a little better than the pass D, and that's what Denver should be doing, or at least what they try to do with Lindsey and Freeman. So we all know Joe Flacco. They got sacked 8 times last week against KC, and that offensive line is definitely struggling. So 43 under in that game. Next game, I'm on the Giants plus 7. I think Detroit wins this game, but I just think it's too many points. It was hovering around 6.5. Right when I got to 7, I jumped on the Giants. Detroit is banged up a little bit. Slay seems to be out. He did aggravate that injury last game. So look for that. I also do know Detroit's running D is pretty awful. Towards the bottom of the league, and guess who's coming to town? Barkley. So look for Barkley to have a big game. If you guys play fantasy or DFS, definitely throw Barkley in your lineup. I think he's going to get around 20 to 25 touches, and that's just from the backfield. So take a look at that. Giants plus 7. Also, a quick note here: Detroit safety they traded. Their starting safety Diggs. They traded him for a draft pick, and it seems like they're what are they trying to rebuild or something? But apparently they said they had some young guys to replace him, and Slay called out the Lions for doing that. So we'll see what happens there. But I do like the Giants to hang around in that one. Next one is Jets plus 6.5 on the road, chasing the points here again. I think it's a bounce back game for them, guys. They got embarrassed, okay, on Monday night, and Darnold and his whole "I'm seeing ghost" thing. I think he bounced back, has a decent game. Jacksonville's defense hasn't been as good as of late, so I'm gonna think they're gonna hang around. I love betting a team after a big loss as well. So take a look at that Jets plus 6.5 on the road. Another road game, road team I like is the Miami Dolphins plus 14.5. This line is just too high, guys. This isn't your Steelers that you're used to with Big Ben and Bell and Brown. This isn't them anymore. Third quarterback is in. Lot of injuries as well for Pittsburgh. I do think Pittsburgh's going to win this game, but I think maybe by 10 points. I think Miami should hang around plus 14.5. They did look a little better against Buffalo, scared a few people with the survivor pick, but obviously Buffalo ended up pulling away there. Last game here is the Texans minus 6.5 over Oakland. Oakland's banged up, guys. I don't think Jacobs is going to be playing. It is Thursday night right now, so Jacobs hasn't practiced as of yet. And also that front line is injured for them. So look for Houston to come out here at home off a tough loss last week. So I think Houston wins 6.5. We're gonna go to the alternate line parlay where Houston's also in that, and I got Houston on the money line and Bills plus 4 for around even money there. So Bills plus 4 and the Texans money line for the alternate line parlay for you guys. I'll leave you guys with some betting advice, and we're gonna go back to the live betting. I make about 30% of my profit on live betting, guys. It's something I suggest you try if you don't already. Benefits is, why do I say live bet? Because you get to see how the game is going. The flow of the game, the weather. Example, last week, Washington and San Francisco, it was pouring rain, guys. They couldn't do anything but run the ball. I jumped on the in-game under, got it at 35 under. And it jumped on some props as well that I hit with throwing props and catches. So try to play the live betting. I suggest you can get a Bet365 or any of your other books that have live betting. So take a look at that. Just some advice there. So I'm going to leave you guys with another little tip here. And it's props. If you're going to play props as well, what I like to do is wait for that day. So I don't release many props to you guys unless you follow me on Twitter or Instagram. I will post it. It's just I don't get any on Thursdays, right? They come out Saturday, Sunday. So wait for game day for props and jump on them, about an hour before game time. Make sure you get all the injuries and everything as well. All right, guys. Hopefully we get back on track here for my video plays. And like I always say, bet smart and know your limits. Bye, guys.